Ladies and gentlemen, the power of positivity. Today, I want to talk about something we all carry within us, the power of positivity. This isn't the superficial kind of positivity that asks us to just smile through it when life feels overwhelming. No, this is about cultivating a mindset that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, resilience, and hope. The truth is, positivity begins with our willingness to embrace vulnerability. Life is messy, unpredictable, and at times heartbreaking. Pretending otherwise doesn't make us stronger, it makes us more fragile. But when we lean into our imperfections, we discover a surprising truth: vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's the birthplace of courage, creativity, and connection. Next, consider the stories we tell ourselves. How often do we catch ourselves spiraling into self-doubt or fear? Our internal narrative shapes our reality. But the beautiful thing is that we can rewrite that story. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong, we can choose to see the potential for growth, love, and success. When we think of positivity, we often imagine someone who's always cheerful, composed, and unshaken by challenges. But the truth is, real positivity isn't about always having it together or putting on a brave face. It's about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, open, authentic, and willing to embrace the full spectrum of human emotions. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a profound strength. Why? Because vulnerability is the doorway to growth, connection, and resilience. When we allow ourselves to admit, I don't have all the answers, or I'm struggling, we create space for learning and support. Vulnerability reminds us that we're human, that we're not perfect, and that it's okay to stumble. It's in those moments of honesty and rawness that we build a deeper connection to ourselves and to others. Think about the courage it takes to show up, even when we feel exposed or uncertain. Vulnerability is standing in front of a room and sharing your story, knowing not everyone will understand. It's applying for the job you're passionate about, even though you fear rejection. It's reaching out for help when every part of you wants to hide. These moments of vulnerability are where true strength is forged, not in pretending we have no cracks, but in showing the world we're strong enough to keep going despite them. Vulnerability is also what allows us to form meaningful relationships. When we open up to others, when we share our fears, dreams, and insecurities, we invite connection. Positivity flourishes in this space of authenticity. Pretending to be invulnerable, always strong, always composed, creates a barrier between us and the people who care about us. It's only by letting others see us as we truly are that we foster trust and intimacy. Even in adversity, vulnerability can be our greatest ally. It's easy to shut down or put up walls when life gets tough. But when we choose vulnerability, we allow ourselves to process pain, seek support, and ultimately heal. Vulnerability doesn't mean staying in pain. It means saying, I'm going through this, but I'm open to help, hope, and healing. That's where resilience begins, by acknowledging what we're going through and believing we can grow stronger because of it. And let's not forget the bravery in trying new things, stepping outside our comfort zones, or risking failure. Every act of creativity, every attempt to grow, and every leap of faith requires vulnerability. It's the willingness to say, this matters to me, so I'm going to try even when there's no guarantee of success. Vulnerability invites us to live boldly, to dream big, and to keep moving forward even when we're scared. Ultimately, vulnerability is the foundation of positivity because it keeps us grounded in what's real. It's the recognition that life isn't perfect, and that's okay. It allows us to embrace joy fully because we're no longer wasting energy trying to hide our imperfections or struggles. Instead, we're living authentically, openly, and with the courage to be seen for who we truly are. So the next time you face a moment that feels overwhelming or uncertain, remind yourself vulnerability is not the enemy of strength, it is strength. It's the quiet, unshakable belief that even when we're at our most vulnerable, we're still capable of incredible things. And that's where positivity finds its roots in the courage to show up, flaws and all. The stories we tell ourselves shape how we see the world, how we interact with others, and most importantly, how we see ourselves. These stories are the internal narratives we repeat over and over again, whether we're aware of them or not. They define our beliefs about our abilities, our worth, and our place in the world. And here's the thing, those stories are incredibly powerful. They can lift us up, helping us see possibilities and overcome obstacles. Or they can hold us back, trapping us in cycles of self-doubt and negativity. Imagine for a moment the kind of narrative you play in your mind when something goes wrong. Do you find yourself saying, I always mess up, or I'm just not good enough? These are stories that may have started from a single bad experience or even someone else's opinion. Over time, though, they become ingrained. We replay them so often that they begin to feel like the truth. But here's the key, these stories aren't facts, they're interpretations, and we have the power to rewrite them. For instance, think about failure. Many of us carry the story that failure is something to fear, something that defines our worth. When we fail, the story might go, this proves I'm not capable, but what if we rewrote that narrative? What if failure became, this is part of learning, or this means I had the courage to try? That shift in perspective changes everything. The same situation failure goes from being a roadblock to being a stepping stone. This isn't about sugarcoating reality or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing how we interpret and respond to life's events. The power of positivity lies in recognizing that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control the story we tell about it. When we frame our experiences in a way that highlights growth, resilience, and possibility, we empower ourselves to move forward. The stories we tell ourselves also shape how we approach relationships. If your narrative is, I'm unlovable, you might unconsciously push people away or settle for less than you deserve. But if you shift that story to, I'm worthy of love and connection, you'll start to see opportunities for deeper, more fulfilling relationships. The way we view ourselves sets the tone for how others treat us and how we allow them to treat us. One of the most profound ways to change our internal story is through self-compassion. Often the harshest narratives we carry are ones we'd never say to someone else. Imagine telling a friend who just lost their job, you're such a failure, you'll never amount to anything. Of course you wouldn't. Yet we tell ourselves these cruel things all the time. Rewriting your story means speaking to yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer to someone you love. Another tool for rewriting your story is practicing mindfulness. When we're caught up in a negative narrative, it can feel automatic, like a tape playing in the background of our minds. But mindfulness helps us pause and notice that story. Once we're aware of it, we can ask ourselves, is this true? Is this helpful? Is this the story I want to live? By this awareness gives us the power to choose differently. The beauty of rewriting our internal stories is that it's never too late to start. Every day we have the opportunity to challenge the narratives that no longer serve us. Maybe the story you've been telling yourself is, I'm too old to change, or I don't have what it takes. What if instead you told yourself it's never too late to try something new, or I am capable of growth? That simple shift opens up a world of possibilities. Remember, the stories we tell ourselves don't just affect our thoughts, they shape our actions. If you believe you're stuck, you're less likely to seek out new opportunities or take risks. But if your narrative is one of hope and possibility, you'll naturally begin to look for solutions and take steps toward your goals. So take a moment to reflect. What's the story you've been telling yourself lately? Is it one of limitation, or is it one of empowerment? If it's the former, know that you have the power to change it. You are the author of your life, and every moment is an opportunity to write a new chapter. In the end, the stories we tell ourselves define the lives we live. Choose a story that lifts you up, a story that reminds you of your strength, your resilience, and your boundless potential. Because when we change the narrative, we change our lives. Connection and belonging are fundamental to the human experience. We are at our core social beings. From the moment we are born, we thrive in connection with caregivers, friends, partners, and communities. Yet, in today's fast-paced, digitally driven world, genuine connection often feels harder to find. Many of us walk through life feeling isolated, misunderstood, or disconnected from others. But here's the truth: connection and belonging are not luxuries, they are necessities. They are the foundation upon which we build resilience, positivity, and fulfillment in life. Let's start with the idea of connection. Connection is not about the number of people in our social circle or the amount of followers we have online. It's about depth, authenticity, and being truly seen. Real connection happens when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, when we drop the masks of perfection and let others see our true selves. This kind of connection requires courage. It means saying, "This is who I am," and trusting that we'll be accepted even when we feel imperfect or flawed. Connection also requires intention. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught up in work, obligations, or distractions.
We might tell ourselves, "I don't have time to reach out," or "they'll understand if I don't call." But connection doesn't happen by accident. It takes effort. It's about prioritizing the relationships that matter, making the call, sending the text, or carving out time to sit down with someone face to face. These moments of connection are what sustain us, especially in challenging times. Now let's talk about belonging. Belonging goes deeper than connection. It's about feeling at home, not just in the world, but within ourselves. True belonging doesn't come from fitting in or conforming to others' expectations. It comes from embracing who we are and finding people and spaces where we are valued for our authentic selves. Belonging can be elusive because we often mistake fitting in for belonging. Fitting in is about changing who we are to be accepted, hiding parts of ourselves that we fear others won't understand. Belonging, on the other hand, is about being accepted as we are, with all our quirks, flaws, and uniqueness. It's about saying, "This is me," and hearing, "You are enough." One of the most important aspects of belonging is self-acceptance. If we don't believe we are worthy of belonging, we'll struggle to find it, no matter how many people surround us. Belonging starts from within. It's about recognizing our inherent value and believing that we deserve to be loved and connected. When we cultivate self-compassion and acceptance, we open the door to deeper connections with others. Belonging also requires us to create spaces of inclusion and acceptance for others. It's not just about finding where we fit, it's about helping others feel like they belong too. This means being present, listening without judgment, and offering kindness. It's about seeing the humanity in everyone, even those who are different from us. When we extend belonging to others, we strengthen the fabric of our relationships and communities. Connection and belonging are essential because they provide us with a sense of purpose and resilience. When we feel connected, we know we're not alone in our struggles. We have people to lean on, to celebrate with, and to remind us of our worth. Belonging gives us a sense of identity, a place where we can root ourselves and feel safe to grow. Together, they create a foundation for positivity and hope, even in the most difficult times. One of the greatest challenges to connection and belonging in modern life is the rise of loneliness. Studies show that loneliness is on the rise, even though we're more connected than ever through technology. Social media, for example, can give the illusion of connection while leaving us feeling more isolated. Real connection happens not through likes or comments, but through genuine, face-to-face interactions. It's about putting down the phone, making eye contact, and saying, "I'm here with you." Another barrier to connection is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of opening up. But here's the thing. Everyone is yearning for connection. Everyone wants to feel seen, heard, and valued. When we take the first step, when we reach out, extend kindness, or share our truth, we often find that others are just as eager to connect. The thought sends a chill through our bodies. However, we all know it heals. When we reach out, extend kindness, or share our truth, we often find that others are just as eager to be seen and heard, or surprised by the kindness of other. The true result we seek is generosity. So how do we cultivate connection and belonging in our lives? Start small. Reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Make time for family, even if it's just a quick check-in. Join a community or group that aligns with your interests or values. Be present with the people around you, whether it's a co-worker, a neighbor, or a stranger. And most importantly, be yourself. Authenticity is the foundation of meaningful connection. Remember? Connection and belonging aren't just about what we receive, they're about what we give. When we show up for others, when we create space for them to be their authentic selves, we strengthen our own sense of connection and belonging. It's a beautiful cycle. The more we give, the more we receive, and the more positivity we create in the world. In the end, connection and belonging remind us of what it means to be human. They ground us in love, purpose, and community. They remind us that we're never truly alone, even when life feels overwhelming. So, let's make the effort to connect, to belong, and to create spaces where others can do the same. Together we are stronger. Together we thrive. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a practice, a way of viewing the world that can profoundly transform our lives. It is an active and intentional process of acknowledging and appreciating the good things in our lives, regardless of how big or small they may be. Practicing gratitude isn't about denying or ignoring life's hardships. It's about choosing to see and honor the beauty and goodness that exists alongside them. It allows us to reframe our perspectives, helping us focus not on what we lack, but on what we already have. In a world that often encourages us to seek more, achieve more, and always look ahead, gratitude grounds us in the present moment. It invites us to pause, take stock, and truly notice the blessings around us that we might otherwise overlook. This can be as simple as savoring the warmth of a morning cup of coffee, appreciating a quiet moment of reflection, or cherishing a kind word from a friend. When we slow down and truly notice these moments, they enrich our lives in ways that material achievements alone cannot. End quote. Gratitude as a practice means incorporating it into our daily routines until it becomes second nature. This can be done in a variety of ways. One of the most effective is maintaining a gratitude journal, where you take a few minutes each day to write down 3 things you're grateful for. This exercise doesn't have to be complicated or profound. Even the smallest details count. Over time, this daily ritual can shift your mindset, training your brain to focus more on positive experiences. Another powerful way to practice gratitude is through mindful appreciation. This involves taking a few moments during your day to consciously acknowledge and feel grateful for what is happening around you. It could be the way sunlight streams through a window, the sound of laughter, or even the sense of accomplishment that comes from completing a task. By becoming aware of these small moments, we start to cultivate an ongoing sense of thankfulness that permeates our daily lives. Expressing gratitude to others is another integral part of the practice. How often do we feel grateful for people in our lives, but forget to tell them? Taking the time to express your appreciation, not just for what they do, but for who they are, builds stronger relationships and a deeper sense of community. It can be as simple as writing a heartfelt note, sending a thoughtful message, or giving someone a genuine compliment. When we share our gratitude with others, we create a ripple effect, encouraging more positive connections and interactions. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in mental well-being. Research shows that practicing gratitude can increase levels of happiness and decrease symptoms of depression and anxiety. It helps to shift our focus away from negative thoughts and feelings, providing a broader perspective that emphasizes positivity and hope. Even in difficult times, a gratitude practice can offer comfort and remind us that there is still light to be found. It can act as a stabilizing force, giving us something to hold on to when life feels uncertain. In challenging times, it may feel almost impossible to find things to be grateful for. Yet this is often when gratitude can be the most powerful. When we intentionally seek out things to appreciate during hardship, we teach ourselves resilience and strength. Gratitude in adversity is about acknowledging small victories and the support of those around us. It might be gratitude for a listening ear, a moment of peace, or even the ability to face another day. This practice fosters a sense of hope, helping us to recognize that no matter how tough things get, there is still something worth valuing. Gratitude can also change the way we interact with the world. When we focus on what we appreciate, we become more empathetic, kind, and open-minded. We start to see the abundance in our lives instead of being consumed by what we think is missing. This shift can influence our relationships, making us more compassionate toward others. When we are more grateful, we're less likely to take people or things for granted, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. Furthermore, practicing gratitude can enhance our physical health. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude report fewer health problems, experience less stress, and even enjoy better sleep quality. By actively focusing on positive elements, we reduce stress hormones in our bodies, leading to better overall health. The practice of gratitude contributes to a holistic sense of well-being that goes beyond mental or emotional benefits. It can enhance our physical state as well. Gratitude does not erase the struggles of life, nor does it dismiss the pain and difficulty that come with being human. However, it provides a lens through which we can view our circumstances with more compassion and understanding. It reminds us that even amid struggles, there are lessons to be learned and moments of beauty to be appreciated. Practicing gratitude can help us become more present, allowing us to savor the good moments more fully and to hold on to a sense of peace, even in turbulent times. Integrating gratitude into daily interactions can also transform the environments we inhabit, our homes, workplaces, and communities. When gratitude is a shared value, it changes the dynamics of how people interact with one another. In the workplace, for example, expressing appreciation for a colleague's contribution can foster a more collaborative and supportive culture. At home, regularly acknowledging what family members do for each other can strengthen bonds and reduce conflict. When gratitude becomes part of a community's ethos, it creates a culture of kindness and respect. Ultimately, gratitude is a practice that asks us to focus on what truly matters. It's a practice that brings joy not because life is perfect, but because we learn to appreciate life as it is, imperfections and all. It's an intentional choice to focus on the positive aspects of our lives, even when it feels easier to dwell on the negatives. The more we practice gratitude, the more it becomes a natural and integral part of who we are, allowing us to see the world and ourselves with greater clarity and compassion. In embracing the power of positivity, we unlock a transformative way of living that enriches every facet of our lives. It begins with vulnerability, allowing us to embrace imperfection as a source of strength and authenticity. The stories we tell ourselves shape our mindset. By rewriting these narratives, we can foster self-compassion and growth. Connection and belonging remind us that we are never alone, grounding us in relationships that bring meaning and support. Gratitude, as a daily practice, trains us to see and celebrate the good, even amid challenges, fostering resilience and hope. Positivity isn't about avoiding difficulties, but about finding purpose, strength, and beauty within them. It's a choice we make daily, shaping our thoughts, actions, and relationships. When we embrace vulnerability, rewrite our narratives, nurture connection, and practice gratitude, we cultivate a life rooted in joy, authenticity, and possibility. A life where positivity becomes our greatest power.